Shalom Yasharala. Want to get infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekal Kadash. Want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. And salutation to my fellow laborers in Yahweh Shai, pushing the truth across the four winds. I came across this clip of this bugged out guy. He's arrogant as fuck, and he knowing the scriptures. And I guess it's the theme of the day. The Most High got the spirit in the earth for the men of the Lord to rightly define the scriptures as it pertains to you, what an Israelite is. What do you have to? What's the criteria for you to be an Israelite? Do an Israelite have to have two parents that are Israelites? All right. He's giving us the understanding about mingled seeds and circumcision, uncircumcision, and Gentiles, so on and so forth. All right, but it's a stumbling block to a lot of our people, and they are drunk off of Western philosophy, and they think it's a such thing as a mingled seed. As this guy on this clip, he don't know how to rightly divide the scriptures. So in this clip, he's going in on Sakari because Sakari's mother's an Edomite and his father's a Levite. So he's saying Sakari is a heathen because who his mother is, and that's inaccurate according to the scriptures. All right. Then he goes on to say that when you look up the word strangers in the scriptures, it's talking about heathens, and the strangers is not talking about heathens at all, man. So these Johnny come latelys, computer keyboard prophets that don't go out on the highways and make their body living sacrifices. They are stumbling blocks to a lot of people in Israel. The Most High has set them up to make people stumble. Because 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, the 3rd verse says that if our gospel be hid, it's hid from them who are lost. So when you hide something from somebody, you don't want them to get it. So the Most High got guys like this raised up teaching lies to make wicked niggas fall. And when you look at his subscribers, he got a lot of subscribers. He got a lot of people taking heed and believing these lies he's teaching. But Jeremiah the 3rd chapter, the 15th verse, our Heavenly Father say in the last days he's going to raise up priests according to his own heart to rightly divide these scriptures. And that's what I'm about to do. Lord willing, I'm one of those pastors according to his own heart. I'm one of the elect and my brothers too. Lord willing, we are those men, the men of Great Millstone. All right. So I'm just about to reconstruct this guy's thesis through the power and strength of Yahweh Shema Shai for edification's sake. I mean, it's easy. He's easy work. He don't know what the fuck he talking about. So here we go without further ado.
Oh, okay. I got you. No doubt. I want everybody to hear this shit good. Isaiah 11th chapter. 14th chapter. We all know it all too well. It says, "For the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob." So these strangers, these other people, that's interesting. I wanna ask you niggas one question. Which one is it? These other nations, these white people and these Chinese people and all these motherfuckers, are they gonna be slaves or co-heirs? Which one? Slaves or co-heirs? See, because we dealing with these bastards that y'all niggas done said basically don't even exist in the scriptures.
All right. Here we go. He mangled Isaiah the 14th chapter. He totally mangled it. He don't know what the fuck he talking about, but here we go. All right. Isaiah the 14th chapter, the first verse is not talking about heathens. But I know why he think it's talking about heathens, because when you read verse 2 is most definitely talking about heathens. That's why you need pastors according to your own heart, according to Yahweh's, by Shema Shai's heart, to rightly divide the scriptures, to water the flock, man. Because First Timothy, the fourth chapter say, you'll be able to save yourself and them that hear thee with this doctrine. So it's imperative you get this doctrine of life, man. All right? And you got to get under a teacher that really is teaching sound doctrine, because this guy isn't at all. He knowing the scriptures, as Yahweh said, you knowing the scriptures of the power of Yahweh. Here we go. Isaiah 14:1. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. All right. It's talking about the elect. All right. Those that get set in their own land are those of the elect. All right. The 144,000 and then 1/3. And the strangers shall be joined with them. All right. The strangers that'll be joined with them is not talking about heathens. All right. Not talking about Moabites, Edomites, Hamites, so on and so forth. And they shall cleave into the house of Jacob. All right. Those strangers going to be wanting to get away from us. They're going to be we're going to be ruling over them with great rigor, the strangers that are heathens. All right. They're not going to want to cleave to us. We're going to be a cruel master over them. They're going to be wanting to run from us and flee from us. All right. The strangers that are going to cleave to us are Israelite foreigners, man. Okay. The strangers that are going to cleave to us are Israelites that were dispersed amongst the nations. All right. That's coming back to the Commonwealth. All right. Now here we go. This is Isaiah 11, chapter 11. I'm going to start at verse 10. And in that day shall a root of Jesse which shall stand for an ensign to the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek. All right. Now this Gentile is not talking about heathens. All right. Just because you see the word Gentile or you see the word strangers, that doesn't automatically mean it's talking about people of other nations. And that's what this guy don't know. All right. And his rest shall be glorious. All right. The Gentiles not going to see no rest in the kingdom of heaven. All right. For 1,000 years, they're not going to get no rest. The only people that's going to be resting are the Israelites. Okay. So those Gentiles that this scripture is talking about are Israelite foreigners. Now let's see why they are called Gentiles. This is why they are called Gentiles. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall set his hand a second time to recover the remnant of Israel, the remnant of his people. It calls them his people. These Gentiles are called his people, okay? You got to get to read fine print. Which shall be left from Assyria. All right, Assyrian is not an Israelite. From Egypt, a Hamite is not an Israelite. From Pathros, from Cush, from Elam, and from Shinar, from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. All right? This is talking about Israelites that are scattered amongst these nations. In verse 12, about to tell you who these Gentiles are. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations and assemble the outcasts of Israel. All right? These are Israelites that were ousted out of Yahweh Shai's sight during the time of the king of Assyria. The second Kings, the 17th chapter, the northern kingdom. And the southern kingdom, we went back to Jerusalem during the time of the Persians, and we were ousted out of his sight during the time of the Romans in 70 AD. All right? And we were sent throughout the four winds. All right? The outcast of Israel. These are the Gentiles that are going to be seeking Yahweh. All right? These are those strangers in Isaiah 14, the 14th chapter, that he just called heathens. All right? And together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. All right? So that's why when you read Isaiah the 14th chapter, it say the strangers shall cleave. All right? The strangers have been alienated from the commonwealth for eons. That's why they're going to cleave. The strangers are in shitholes right now. They're in hell. All right? They are living below the poverty line wherever they are. So when they see all these blessings and all this splendor for for their nation, shut up. When they see all of this love and harmonious power we gonna have, they're gonna cleave. They're gonna come back to to their commonwealth, and they're going to cleave, man, and not let go. They're going to embrace their nationality again, man. All right? That's not talking about a fucking heathen. All right? But here we go. Here goes more proof. We're going to go precept on precept, line up on line, here a little, there a little. All right? This is Leviticus 25 and 35. And if thy brother be waxing poor, all right, to start off calling him your brother. This is talking about a brother, an Israelite according to the flesh, according to Isaiah the 46th chapter, the 3rd verse. Those that are born to him by the belly, biologically an Israelite according to DNA, all right, and fallen in decay with thee. Then shalt thou relieve him. Yeah, though he be a stranger. The Bible just called an Israelite according to the flesh a stranger or a sojourner that he may live with thee. Okay? He's a sojourner. All right? He's a sojourner. Remember that word. All right? Take thou no usury of him or increase, but fear Yahweh, that thy brother may live with thee. And so he calls a stranger our brother. It called the Gentiles an outcast of Israel. Isaiah 14 and 1 is talking about Israelites. All right? Now let me go read Isaiah 14 and 2. Damn, I don't remember if I just read it. My short-term memory tripping. And the people shall take them. All right? Now when you see Isaiah 14:1 and it's saying the stranger shall be joint with them. All right, and now Isaiah 14:2, and it say the people that shall take him. One is the strangers is talking about Israelites, and the people right here in verse 2 is talking about heathens. All right, and that's why he's going off on that scripture, because when you read verse 2, he think that's talking about the strangers in verse 1. You see what I'm saying? That I see why he going off, but he don't have the spirit dealing with him, so he could decipher and understand it. And the people would take them and bring them to their place. That's talking about heathens. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land. All right, we're going to possess those people. All right, and Yahweh in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids. They're going to be our slaves, and they should take them captives, whose captives there were. When you read Leviticus the 25th chapter, it tells you cannot rule over a fellow Israelite with rigor. You cannot treat them as a captive, all right? And they shall rule over their oppressors, all right? So that's verse 2 is talking about heathens. Israelite mean non-Israelites, people of another nationality. Verse 1 is talking about what we just read in Leviticus the 25th chapter. Israelites according to the flesh that are sojourners, Israelite foreigners. All right, now let's go into Hebrew. All right, so we'll go to Isaiah, and I'm gonna go to Leviticus first, 25, to show that stranger is talking about Israelites in contrast to popular belief. Because most people that read the scriptures are going to think that's talking about a heathen. All right? Now, we already read this, so I'm going to just go straight down to the word stranger. It's the Hebrew word gar. This how it's pronounced.
Strong's H1616. Gar. Gar.
All right?
And the form just below that, Geir. Geir.
All right. Now this is the word stranger, which in that same chapter they called him our brother. Say your brother when your brother is a stranger. All right. They say sojourner. Then they say and when he sojourned amongst thee. Okay. This is the same word in Isaiah the 14th chapter. All right. A temporary inhabitant, a newcomer, lacking inherited rights. Okay. You know what? Of foreigners in Israel, though conceded rights. All right. Now I'm gonna give you an example of a temporary inhabitant, a newcomer, a lacking inherited rights. All right. I'm gonna give you an example of that in the scriptures. All right, about that Levite in the book of Judges. All right, so here we go right here. Now check this out. Check this out. This is a example of an Israelite that lack of inherited rights. What we just read. Let me pronounce that right. So I don't vain jangle. All right. Keep that meaning up there. A temporary inhabitant, a newcomer lacking inherited rights. Now I'm about to break all this down for you. I'm about to give you an example. All right. This is a temporary inhabitant, a newcomer lacking inherited rights. This is Judges 19. And it came to pass in those days when there was no king in Israel, that there was a certain Levite sojourning on the side of Mount Ephraim. All right? This guy is a Levite that lives in Ephraim. All right? Who took him a concubine out of Bethlehem, Judah. So he took him a concubine that lived in the land of Judah. All right? And his concubine played the whore against him, and he went from him and went away from him unto her father's house to Bethlehem, Judah, and was there 4 months. So he had a concubine. She played the whore. She left the house. She left the land of Ephraim and went all the way to the land of Judah. So what did he do? He had to go look for his property, his possession. So what did he have to do? He had to sojourn. He had to leave his place of residency and go to another land of the other tribes. Now let me skip down. All right, I'm gonna skip down to. Here we go. I'm going to skip down to 13. And he said unto his servant, come and let us draw near to one of these places to lodge all night in Gilbert and Ramah. All right, so they're lodging. I mean, they're traveling. They're sojourning through Israel. All right, they're in the land of Judah. Now they're sojourning. Now they're going back to where he from, in Mount Ephraim, okay? And they passed out and went their way. And the sundown went up on them, and when they were by Gilbert, which belongeth to Benjamin. So now they came into the land of Benjamin, all right? And they turned aside thither to go in and lodge in Gilbert. And he went in and he sat down on the street of the city, where there was no man that took him into his house to lodge. So he's a stranger in Benjamin, in the land of Benjamin. He's from Ephraim, okay? You get it? All right? And behold, there came an old man from his work out of the field at evening, which also of Mount Ephraim. So he found somebody that was from where he was from, and this brother was from Mount Ephraim, and he was very hospitable. And he sojourned in Gilbert, but the men of the place were Benjamites. All right? All right? You know what? I want to be perfect. This still might be in the land of Judah, but Benjamites was living in this area. I want to be perfect, so just leave that open, all right? And when he had lifted up his eye, fuck that. Let me see what is it. Let me see this. We got to be perfect in this thing of ours. How you spell it? Gibeah. You got to be perfect, Israel. So, Yasharallah. All right, so that it's jump to the tribe of Benjamin, and they said, which one of the tribes? And they said, this must inherit. location given. All right. All right. It looked like it would give a map. All right. Yep. The inheritance of the tribe of Benjamin. All right. So they're in the land of Benjamin. Just what I thought. That's what I thought. They was in the land of Benjamin, because this one Benjamin almost got annihilated as from being a tribe. All right. So this is an Ephraimite, a sojourner in the land of Benjamin. You know what? And let me just read a little more. All right. And when he had lifted up his eyes, he saw a way from man in the street of the city, and the old man said, "Whither thou goest, and whence he comest thou?" And he said unto him, "We are passing from Bethlehem, Judah, toward the sound of Mount Ephraim." All right. So they was coming. He had picked up his woman from Judah. All right. And he was sojourning to get back to Mount Ephraim. But he stopped in the land of Benjamin. From this I am I. He say, from this am I. He say, from this is I live in the land of Ephraim. He said, and I went to Bethlehem, Judah, and he went to Bethlehem, Judah to pick up his heifer. But now I'm going to the house of the Lord, and there's no man that received me to the house. All right. So he sojourned in the land of Benjamin, but he didn't live in Benjamin. That's not where his inheritance was. All right. But he was a Levite also, so he didn't have an inherited right to land. All right. The Most High was his inheritance. All right. But let's say if he was Asherite, all right, he wouldn't have no inherited rights in the land of Ephraim, but they still going to treat him like a king. They're still going to be hospitable to him. Okay. So that's what the scriptures mean when you're a sojourner, when one brother come from one tribe to another tribe's land. All right. And when they say lacking inherited rights, all right, let's say if he took one of those Benjamites to wife, he would make a covenant with her father, a covenant with the groom. And when he married her, he would take her back to his inheritance, to wherever he from. So let's say I'm a Judite and I go to the land of Asher, and I see a beautiful woman that I want to wed. I go make a covenant with her father. If her father agrees to do with it, he gonna give me a dowry to pay. I'm gonna pay the dowry. We're gonna go in the bed. We're gonna go in the bed chambers, consummate, and then she's gonna come back with my inherited rights with my commonwealth in the land of Judah. All right. But if I'm sojourning over there with them, all right, I'm lacking inherited rights because I'm not from the land of Asher. I don't come from the loins of the land of Asher. My prosperity, my progenitors, and my stock is in the land of Judah. That's why when you read what happened with Joseph during the time of Yahushua, when they did the census, he had to travel back to Bethlehem, where his fathers were, where his father's house was, where his clan was, okay, where his tribe was, all right? But the word stranger is talking about Israelite foreigners, all right? That's what it's talking about. Now, I'm going to go to Jeremiah 51 and 51 and show you what a full-fledged fucking heathen is. When the Bible is talking about a full-fledged heathen. All right. This is Jeremiah 51, verse 51. And it reads, "We are confounded because we have heard reproach. Shame have covered our faces, for strangers have come into the sanctuaries of Yahweh's house." All right. Now, when you understand the abomination of desolation in the holy place, that's when Rome besieged Jerusalem, and they came in and defiled our homes. That also, and is also when Antiochus Epiphanes came in there sacrificing all that lamb and shit. But the abomination of desolation is when Jerusalem was ransacked, man, by the heathen, man. Okay, that's the abomination of desolation, man. When the heathens came in, and that's what the scripture is talking about. For strangers are coming to the sanctuaries of Yahweh's house. All right, now let's see what this word stranger talking about right now. Let's see if it's talking about, is it talking about the Hebrew word gar? All right, the Hebrew word gar is talking about a newcomer lacking inherited rights, or foreigners in Israel, though conceded rights, okay? Though he has rights, he's an Israelite, okay? This is Jeremiah 51, verse 51. And it reads, well, I just read it. I'm about to get the word stranger. All right? To show, man, this guy don't know what the fuck he talking about. It's the Hebrew word.
Strong's H2114. Zur.
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 All right? And this is what it reads. To be strange. Be a stranger. To be estranged. Strange. Another stranger. Foreigner. An enemy. Okay? An enemy. All right? Those are those are not Israelite foreigners. This is talking about Edomites, Hamites. All the other nations are our enemies. Loathsome, strange woman, prostitute, harlot. All right? A strange woman is a woman that's outside of the temple, profane. All right? To be estranged, to be stranger, to be alienated. They are alienated. The other nations are alienated from the commonwealth of Yasharallah. When you read Leviticus 26 and 46, it says the Most High made a covenant. Let me get it. All right? They don't have this right here. This Leviticus 26 and verse 46. All right? A heathen don't have this. This is a covenant. All right? These are the statutes and judgments and laws which Yahweh made between him and the children of Israel at Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses. This is our commonwealth. All right. These are our statutes, judgments, laws, and we have promises and prophecies that go into that. Okay. And that's only for the children of Israel. The only people that was around Mount Sinai were the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay. So when you go over here in Jeremiah 51 and 51, and it says to be a stranger, to be one alienated. All right, these other nations are alienated from that commonwealth. They can't sin. The law wasn't given to them. The Most High don't give two shits if a heathen eats pork, eats shrimp. He don't give two shits if a heathen man goes in his wife on her ministration. He don't care. All right. The Most High don't care. He cares when the children of Israel, who he gave that law to, transgress his law. The apple of his eye. All right. Let me give another example. This is the book of Nehemiah. I'm going to go to the 13th verse, and I'm going to go down to the 13th chapter to the 28th verse, Salakia. And it reads, all right. No, you know what? I'm going to go up. I'm gonna give the whole enchilada. All right, this is verse 22. Nehemiah 13 and 22, so you can get a visual depiction, so you get the full understanding of this thing. And I commanded the Levites that they should cleanse themselves, and they should come and keep the gates to sanctify the Shabbat day. Remember me, O Yahweh, my power, concerning this also, and spare me according to greatness of thy mercy. In those days also I saw Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab, all right, all heathens. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each other people. And that's abomination, all right? So what happened, these Israelites was making covenants with these other women of the other nations, all right? And the women of these other nations was leading them astray, all right? They weren't even teaching their children the pure tongue, the Lashawan Kadash, all right? So spiritually, their children were heathens, but physically, they still was Israelites, all right? You got to put that out there. Just because he went into the land, they went into Ammonites and Moabites, those children are Israelites, okay? If an Israelite man go into one of them, it's still an Israelite, all right? But the children were defiled, all right? They hadn't even learned the ways of the Most High. And I contended with them and cursed them and smote certain of them and plucked off their hair and made them swear by Yahweh, saying, ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons and make their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things? Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of his power, and Yahweh made him king over all. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin. All right? And that's what's going on in this chapter. These Israelites was dealing with the Moabite women and Ammonite women, and they let them women lead them astray. Now, does that make those children heathens according to the flesh? No, it does not. Biologically, the children that were born of those women are Israelites according to the flesh. Shall we then hearken unto you to do all the great evil, to transgress our power in marrying strange wives? All right, you're not supposed to marry a strange wife. The only woman you're supposed to marry is an Israelite woman. Now, can you go into a heathen and take her as a concubine? Yes, you can. Can you bear children with a concubine? Yes, you can. All right. Belial was Jacob's concubine. Zilpah was Jacob's concubine. Okay. And of the sons of Joada, the son of Ishabelite, the high priest, was son-in-law to Sanballat the Horonite. You see, they was going into marriage. They was making covenants. Sanballat the Horonite was a fucking heathen, man. He was a Moabite. All right. So not only do they lead you astray, but then they get to, let's say you are Israelite and you just got a daughter and you marry her off to a Moabite, according to our law, your inheritance is going to go to that damn her husband. All right. And then he going to be owning land in our inheritance. Lord, for Yahweh Shema shall forbid. Therefore, I chased them from me. Okay? Remember them, O Yahweh, my power, because they have defiled the priesthood. That was a wicked nigga. That was a priest did that shit. And the covenant of the priesthood and of the Levites. Thus cleansed I from all strangers and appointed the wards of the priests and the Levites everyone in his business. Let's go in the blue letter and see what that word stranger says right there. Now that word stranger is not talking about the same stranger in Isaiah the 14th chapter. It's talking about the same stranger in Jeremiah 51 and 51, but it's a different word. See, that's why you have to go in these languages and decipher how to rightly divide the scriptures, man. All right? You got that word stranger all throughout the whole Old Testament, and you got 3 and 4 different words for that word in the Hebrew. All right? That's why it's imperative. You got to be under men of the Lord that know how to rightly divide the scriptures, man. All right, I already read this, so I'm about to go to the word stranger. Now that's a word.
Strong's H 5236. Nechar.
Nechar. All right, now this is a whole nother word, and then it got another word that's for the word stranger. All right, let's see what it says. Foreign, alien, foreigners, foreignness, that which is foreign, foreignness. Foreign gods, alien, foreigner, foreign. It's talking about other nations. You see, this talking about Moabites right here. Strange, stranger, alien. All right, foreign, a foreigner. Heathendom. Straight up a heathendom. Alien, strange. All right. You see what I'm saying? That's why these guys that out here teaching, man, calling themselves teachers, man, they're not worthy to be calling themselves teachers. They will lead you into a ditch. If the blind lead the blind, you shall both go into the ditch. All right? Okay? When you look up the word, when they say the heathen shall be joined unto us, man, I mean, when they say Salakia, when they say the stranger shall be joined unto us, those are Israelite foreigners, man. All right. Actually, we are strangers that are joint back into the Commonwealth right fucking now. We are strangers that were grafted back into the Commonwealth. And now what are we doing? We're cleaving to it, man. We're cleaving to it. I mean, these guys, these Johnny come latelys, man, The Most High gonna take them out, though. Everybody's gonna see who's teaching the truth in the scriptures and who's not, man. So with that, I'm gonna give infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakar I'm gonna give double honors to the teachers, of Great Millstone, and salutation to you, sincere Ak, and pushing this truth across the four winds. Kwam Yasharala.